Hi, everyone. I am here today with Willie Harrison, a Course Careers graduate from the digital marketing course. And today we're going to be talking through what his new career is like in digital marketing. Willie, would love to start off with just a quick introduction of yourself and your background, especially before the course. Like, what were you doing before Course Careers?
Hey everybody, I'm Willie Harrison. Yeah, before I started the course, I was over the road truck driver, and I did that for about say about eight or not 8 years.
Yeah, that's cool. So while you were a truck driver, what made you start thinking about switching careers into like digital marketing?
It was just the long hours and then just being away from home. The
Hmm.
money was good, but it was just like it's a whole different lifestyle. You really got to dedicate your life to it, and like you really don't get enough home time. You really don't get to see your family and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that was kind of my reasoning why I wanted to shift my career. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And then I kind of got into a little legal issue with like I got a DUI.
Hmm.
So I had to take a year off from the road, and that helped me like start doing like graphic design and stuff like that and just different like marketing things. So I found a passion for it then. Then I got back on the road after a year, and it just wasn't the same after that. So it was like I was just doing it to make money, you know what I mean? I was still driving, and then I got the opportunity to move to Vegas, and I was delivering for a company. We were delivering like just goods to restaurants and casinos and stuff out here.
Hmm.
And it was still long hours, like 11, 13 hour days. And so it was just something that I wanted to change. And I saw the podcast. I came home and I saw the podcast about how to get into tech in the tech industry without going to college.
Hmm.
So and they mentioned course careers. So I did my research on course careers and stuff. And at first it was about tech sales. And I was like, okay, maybe I could get into tech sales and stuff like that. So I got into the course. I did like I think it was either 7 or 14 days
Hmm.
trial or whatever. And I was in the middle of that, and I saw that they introduced a new digital marketing course. So I used that opportunity to switch over because I felt like digital marketing kind of worked hand in hand with like graphic design and stuff like that. And it kind of it sparked my interest, you know?
Yeah, I've always said digital marketing is kind of like the creative side of business. But I'd love to
Yeah.
understand how did you even get into graphic design in that year off?
Well, I took graphic design in high school, and I
Hmm.
always had like a creative side to myself. But I invested in a laptop, and while I was taking a year off of the road, I needed to make an income. So I started making logos and flyers and stuff for people, as well as like designs for brands and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So that's how I just capitalized off of the graphic design ability.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome way, a really good foot in the door into marketing in general. That's
Yeah,
pretty similar to the way I started too, like making logos or making websites for people. Um,
yeah,
and then eventually those logos that you're building, you can start kind of expanding out your kind of clientele because they'll need websites, they'll need marketing, they'll need ad buying. Um,
right.
but yeah, that's pretty cool. So when you found Course Careers, what stood out about Course Careers when that made you kind of give it a shot? I know you said you did your research, but what about it? Because there's so many other like boot camps. There's obviously college. There's other courses. Would
Yeah.
love to kind of understand what was in that decision.
Well, while I was doing my research, it intrigued me that like the one of the main points was that I could get into tech without having to go to college or like, and it was at my own pace and stuff like that. Also, like I saw like the testimony of course careers and it kind of spoke to me, about like Trent's story and how he started the whole thing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's what drew me into course careers.
Yeah, very cool. So you started off with the signing up for the tech course, and then you saw the new digital ad course, and you or the digital marketing course, and you thought that would be a better fit for you. What was your
Yeah.
experience like actually going through that course?
Well, I it was kind of like they had the first version of it was kind of because I did two versions of it.
Hmm.
It was the original one. It was very informative and stuff like that. And it kind of I made it all the way through to the end to make it to the final exam, and then I say probably a few months. I took a little break to try to get prepared for the final exam. And that's when I seen that they came out with a revamped version of the digital marketing course, and they had you as the instructor.
Hmm.
So I just started off from scratch. I went all the way back, and I just did it all over again because I seen that you were the instructor, and you kind of you made the course way better because you really gave like a hands-on perspective of the marketing and the ads and Google and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's what I feel like that's what made like the course way better, you know?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, we put a lot of time into it and trying to make sure that it's giving information to students that might have not gone to college or have other experience in this career field and still help you get an actual job. Now, with that
Right.
being said, with like all the content in the course, and there, we start off the course with like really simple concepts, and then it gets a little bit more advanced towards the end. Were there any moments where you doubted yourself going through the course?
I can't really say that I doubted myself because you and like the team, y'all made it kind of like digestible. Y'all made the course real digestible for like anybody to really kind of understand what's going on. So I would say maybe just being nervous about taking the final exam, maybe that
Sure.
was kind of like, you know,
Yeah, I actually remember grading your final exam, and you did really good, especially on the verbal parts.
yeah,
Very clear your answers, and you could tell you knew exactly what it was. I remember I was like very impressed with each answer. It was like you got them all right, at least the verbal ones that I manually graded. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, would love to. Okay, so you went through the course, you passed the final exam. Now you start looking for jobs. Tell me about how you landed your first job. How many roles did you apply to? What was that whole process like from finishing the course to landing your first job in marketing? And what's your title right now? You're a paid search?
A paid search assistant right now.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, tell me about that process.
Well, it was kind of stressful because I did do like everything with just like checking the job market and like writing down companies and stuff like that and putting in into the Google sheet and stuff like that. And there was a few companies that I applied for like maybe 15 or 20 companies in the whole process. And a few of the companies, I received emails back that they went with a different option or like my qualifications didn't match or whatever like that.
Hmm.
So I came across the company that I'm at now, Melon Local, and they brought me in for an interview, and that was probably like a month after I graduated the course that I got the interview with Melon Local.
Hmm.
And that's when I reached out to you to see if I could get like some interview tips and pointers and stuff like that. And we got on the Zoom and stuff like that. And that was very helpful. And so I went in for the interview. They brought me in kind of quick. Probably it was all within I received the email back and then I went in for an interview. It was all in the same week. So they brought me in pretty quick and I did the interview, but around that time they told me that they went with another option. You know, they went with another candidate, but they told me that they would keep me in mind and that I would be like a top candidate next time around. So I waited like a year and probably like 3 or 4 months, and I was just doing like temp service and stuff like that because I still needed to pay my bills and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I received an email back from them from Mellon Local, and they told me, asked me if I still was interested and to come in for another interview. So I went in for another interview and I nailed it, and they offered me the job. And like, now I'm here.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome going from like a truck driver to like switching careers completely into
Yeah,
marketing. Because I think right now, obviously, you're in like an entry level job in a whole new career that like if you obviously stay with it, next year you'll be promoted in the next year and the next year and then maybe
yeah,
a different agency, a different company. But you've completely switched careers without any college degree, which I think is really cool.
yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, so like obviously you've taken the course, like I'm a nerd when it comes to all this like paid search stuff and paid social. What do you like about your current job right now?
What I like about it is it's definitely a change and a new atmosphere for sure. But I just like the feel of like it's like a family feel there, and they like when I came in, they all welcomed me with open arms and stuff like that. And then it's just like I guess the lifestyle that comes with changing your career to like into paid search or marketing. It's like a laid back type of environment, and you can really, it's just a way different spectrum than truck driving, because I'm like with truck driving, you're always gone and stuff like that. But and my job is actually like 12 minutes away from my house.
Hmm.
I could come home on my lunch break if I need to, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Good environment. So, and then the work, it's a like you got us prepared to do the job, So it's like I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about in there. So it's like it's a good environment.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I still enjoy being in ad accounts because I think
Yeah.
one, you feel like you have such a big impact on whoever your clients are that you're, making these optimizations in ad accounts that are actually changing,
Right.
their revenue for the business.
Right.
I've always loved that. Also, it's cool working with like larger brands. You get plugged into their accounts and kind of see all these like old ads that you might have seen in your own day to day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought that was so cool. So, Willie, I would love to hear, like, while we're wrapping up this call, what would you say to someone who's on the fence about joining Course Careers, or changing careers in general, like you did?
I would say to take a chance on yourself, to bet on yourself, it's like it's well worth it. I'm a testament of that. And like I bet on myself and I seen it through. I'm not gonna say it's an easy journey, but it's a fulfilling journey at the end of the day. You know what I
Very
mean?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willie, thank you so much for taking the time even for this interview. It's just really cool to reconnect, and see how
Yeah.
you've been doing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem. No problem at all.
Cool.